Hello everyone and welcome. Hope things are well. Big headline this morning coming out from some of the local journalists about Alexander Isak stating that he will receive a new contract at Newcastle United. However, it's going to be a similar position to Bruno, where the player himself actually wants a release clause in his contract, which has caused a bit of doubt from fans, but I actually don't think it's a bad thing. I'm going to explain why in this video. But first off, I'll just state the obvious. How are things going? Is everyone alright? It's good to see everyone again. Wolves at the weekend. Wolves away. Oh, I dread Wolves away. You haven't been to that away game before. It sucks. So I'm hoping Newcastle can get the result in this time. Then afterwards, Fulham and Wimbledon away. The same 4 days. I'm going to be down in London for the pair of those. I'm looking forward to it. But in terms of Alexander Isak, our main star man this season, again with Callum Wilson still being injured, I mean, it's beyond a joke. Now the guy is still out and it doesn't sound like he's getting close to coming back. Lodi Musula, our young star, that hasn't had much of a chance to get amongst the team just yet. But of course, the main man that's going to produce the goals for us this season, Isak's had a very good spell with Sweden during the national break. He wants a release clause now. Straight away, a bit like Bruno, when you see a release clause come out, you kind of crap yourself a little bit. You go, oh no, does he want to leave? Does he want to go next season? Does he want to go to Real Madrid? Does he want to go to Manchester City now? Of course, a player will always look to progress. I crap myself there, but the Archie just jumped out the bush. Sorry. A player will always look to progress. They'll always look to go through with a career and make sure they can get a good move. And I personally think there's only 5 or 6 teams in world football that actually aren't stepping stone. So Newcastle, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing being a stepping stone club, but the reality is a player like Bruno, a player like Isak, a player like Gordon probably are going to look to progress over the next couple of years. But under how PSR and FFP works, we actually need the player sale. That's why Newcastle didn't spend much in the summer window. I know we had the 60 to 70 million for Gay that we could have put in, but we didn't have anything more than that. And that's because of player sales. You look at a team at Aston Villa. How are Aston Villa able to progress so well? Because they sold Jack Grealish. How can Chelsea progress so well? I know Chelsea have got their own little weird things going on with hotels, for example. But again, Chelsea have a lot of players to sell. Therefore, they can put that selling money back into the club. Newcastle United does not have that selling power yet because we haven't sold much. Nothing's went. St. Maximin, Chris Wood, Eddie Anderson was PSR. Well, we bought the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper anyway, so Anderson wasn't much profit. Newcastle just need to sell some players in order to then be allowed to then chuck your 200, your 300 million pounds into the window. And I think the reality is, if I wanted my opinion now, I reckon one of the big 3 will go next season. It depends on where we finish. If Newcastle don't get European football, then I think we've got a bigger worry. I think there could be a couple of them going. But if you want my personal opinion, I reckon we'll lose one of Gordon, Isak or Bruno next summer. And if I had to put money on it, I'll probably say Gordon, especially if Liverpool comes back in, because of course Liverpool's the club he supports. I think he is, and what the media said anyway, it seemed like a move that Gordon did once. So we'll keep an eye on that one, because that's the one out of the 3 I reckon we could lose. But then if you were to lose Gordon, you're probably going to be getting around £100 million for him, which is just mad. It's so much money, and it's not just £100 million that you get that can go back into the window. Because of the fact that we bought Gordon for 40 million, you then get the additional profit on top of that, which can then go back into the window, and Newcastle would have so much money to spend once you lose one of those players. And obviously we don't want to lose one of those players, but it's just unfortunately how FFP works, how PSR currently works. So for Newcastle to be able to spend, we need a bit of selling there as well. We just haven't quite done the selling yet. So that's hopefully the good part out of the way. So in Isak's case, his release clause, it has to be about £120 million, I'm going to be honest. If it's anything less than that, I'm going to be twitching a bit, because I think a team could buy that out. Even Chelsea in the summer, they never had the money to bring Isak in, but even they were considering the £120 million mark. And for the ability to get with Isak and the value you get out of him, I don't think there's many other strikers in world football that can do what he does. I think there's literally a handful of players that can do what Isak does. 25 goals in all competitions last season. You can't write that off. I mean, it's unbelievable ability, and someone, let's say a team like a Real Madrid wants to come in for him, you're going to have to play the big bucks, and that's Newcastle's strategy here. Isak wants a release clause, so in his case, I reckon it's just if Newcastle don't get European football, he has that option then a team wants to buy, they can do that. Maybe Newcastle do the same as Bruno, where the release clause is only in for a set period of the transfer window, maybe after the start of June, it then comes out. So it might not necessarily be the full window. It could be a similar plan to Bruno, when it's only in for a set period, but when that actually comes into place, teams can buy Isak up for a certain amount of money. I don't think it's a bad thing. I honestly don't think it is. Does it make me a little concerned that Isak might want out in the next couple of seasons? I mean, yeah, but you have that feeling towards any big player anyway. Like, I don't think it changes anything. The only thing it really changes is that Newcastle now have an option. If they decide, well, you know what, Isak, we're going to put £140 million in your contract. That's how much it's going to cost for a team to bring you in. Newcastle then know that if a team's willing to pay that money, straight away that they can get things sorted out. My only doubt really is that if we were to get £140 million to Isak, would the club actually spend it well? Because I'm not so sure after that summer window, because we struggled and just pranced around, and if we end up selling Isak for £140 million and dumping 70 to 80 on Gay, and even then Crystal Palace would know that we sold Isak, so they then probably charge more for him. The Newcastle do have to be careful. They do have to be careful how they spend the money, but the point is, though, it's like new contract, should be buzzing about it. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Actually, no, I don't think it's a bad thing at all, to correct myself. It's only a bad thing if Newcastle don't get European football. So if we were to drop out of the top 6, top 7 again this season, I think there's bigger problems than that anyway, because I think, like, Eddie Howe could be in doubt if that happens. But in terms of a playing point of view, I don't see like Isak, Bruno, Gordon staying if we don't get European football 2 seasons in a row. And I don't need to be Captain Obvious and come out and say that. I'm sure you guys are already aware of that. But the truth is, Newcastle need to be careful. We do need to be careful about where we finish this season. Isak, the new contract's brilliant, deserves it. I hope we give him lots of money. But the release clause is probably going to be there now, according to reports, and that's going to be interesting to see. But what do you guys think about it? Do you think that's a problem? Do you think that's a concern? I don't think it is. I actually don't think it is, because again, worst case scenario, we sell Isak, what, £140 million? It's just a stupid amount of money, because you don't get the £140 million to spend. That's not just that. You then get the profits on top of that. It's so much. It's so much. And that's how a team progresses under FFP. So I think it's, I wouldn't say it's a win-win for Newcastle, because it's going to be extremely hard to replace a guy like him. But what I will say is that Newcastle have got a lot to work with. And I'm sure we can have a good time. But that's what I want to talk about really, is Isak still. Not much else to say. I know they've got cats in the background there, so I'll let you have a look at them while I'm wrapping things up. But again, of course, we got the Wolves game on Sunday. Big match for us. It's one of those games we just always drop points in. We haven't actually beat Wolves since I was last down there. Actually, no, I've been there last 2 years, but I went down the championship season. Mitro got the last time we actually won at the Molineux. So we've got to go there and win. Got to go there and win on Sunday. I'm just sick. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of the Molineux. I'm sick of Selhurst Park. I hate the pair of them. Palace away, don't like. Wolves away, don't like. Just 2 away games I always dread every season. So once we get Wolves out of the way, I'll be quite happy. But again, as I mentioned, following the week afterwards, a game where Newcastle have been quite good there in recent years. We just always seem to get one over them. So I'm hoping again that'll be the case. Wimbledon's a nice fixture midweek. Should be able to play the likes of Sula and that. There's see youngsters in it. And just make sure Newcastle win. But again, I haven't got any concerns about that one. But I will be doing plenty of videos down south. There'll be an overnight stay vlog for the Wolves game. I am actually staying down for Wolves. So make sure the vlog will be out on Saturday. Might upload tomorrow. Depends if there's any interesting news or there's something to talk about, which I reckon there is, to be fair, so I probably will upload tomorrow. But if not, though, we'll see you all for the overnight stay vlog on Saturday. Come on, you mags. I'm excited we're back. I'm excited we're back. Being a good international break for us. I always tend to, as a content creator, on a selfish point of view, I do tend to like a bit of a break. Had a good chance just to settle down. Of course, I did in the Great North Run last week, so it's a good chance to kind of settle down and just get everything sorted out. But I'm looking forward to being back now, and I'm sure you guys are as well. So enjoy it. If you are going to the game on Sunday, let me know your thoughts about Isak, because it's a fascinating one to talk about. I don't think it's a bad thing, him getting the release clause. I really don't think it is. Yes, of course, there's going to be some doubts in people's minds, which I understand. But deep down, these players are always going to potentially want that that chance to go elsewhere. But it's just how football works. Like, you got to understand that Newcastle, we aren't Manchester City, we aren't Real Madrid. That's the reality. We haven't won silverware in 70 years now. We haven't progressed into the Champions League again. We do have to understand these factors, but we're still looking good. So thank you guys for watching anyway. Take care, and we'll see you all in the next one.